Good morning. It's Friday morning, first day of July here in Cypress, Texas. It rained pretty hard last night. Like the so this is really interesting. So today is the first day that I've been to my first chapter of Matthew, and which is interesting because it's given the lineage of Jesus, right? And starting with um, well, you know, Jacob, right? And then of course I'm reading chapter 32 in Genesis. And this is where I mean we're Jacob is um, he's going back home, right? And he's really concerned about confronting his brother Esau. And he set up his camp strategically, for confrontation, separating the two different elements of his party. I mean, he's really going into significant effort to having to deal with his brother, right? And this has been like 30 years since he saw him, right? And he sends an advance party to with you know offerings to his brother, and then that night he's wrestling with the man. Turns out to be God, and he's giving him a fit. And when the man was trying to get away, he's holding on to him, not letting him go, begging for a blessing. And the only way that that the man can get away from him is causes him to he touches his hip and causes him to dislocate his hip. Can you imagine the pain in that? I've dislocated both my shoulders, and could imagine dislocating your hip. And then the next chapter, he meets his brother, and his brother embraces him, and it's just a love fest. It's like totally nothing to be worried about. And then I go and I read in Psalms, and that's all about forgive me. I swear that these chapters, these books of the Bible coincide. It's just amazing how that works. But how many times have you really get really upset about something, and it's really weighing on your mind, and then it wasn't near as bad as you thought it was going to be. I mean, there could be just teaching for days on this, right? And you just have to be. This is where that prepare for the worst and hope for the best kind of comes in, right? and so he's really adamant about giving these portion of his livestock and all that to Esau, and trying to make amends, you know, and it's all for going back to when he conned him out of his birthright and his blessing, and he's trying to make good on that, and now what's really interesting is with this, it seemed like there's reconciliation, right? So how did the Edomites justify, all that they did to the Jews because of Jacob conning Esau out of his birthright, his blessing, when the father had forgiven his brother, when Esau had forgiven his brother? I'll tell you what this tells me. All right. When people are hurt, when people are, it's like Jacob was like, had to leave, Laman's, family, because he could tell that Laman's sons were gonna they were gonna take him out eventually. So he had to go, right? I mean, it's whenever you make, Roy Jones used to say, whenever you make somebody see something about themselves they don't like, you better stand by. All right, and that's what's happening. And it carries on through generations. Isn't that amazing? But it's all that one lesson, man. How many bad things that get in your mind, most of the time they're not that bad. Speaking from somebody who's been through Hell Week twice, right? And anyway, this is I went ahead and read chapter 33 in Genesis to get a glimpse of to see the reconciliation, right? And isn't that something? All right, have a great Friday.